Greetings. Good afternoon, Juneteenth family. Welcome to another weekly Lunch and Learn.
In terms of business, if you have a dream, go for it. Pursue it. Work hard at it, because with anything that you want to do, it's going to come hard work. You know, if you don't put the hard work, you don't put the time into it, it's not going to flourish the way you want to.
Maybe advice for anybody who's looking to start a business, like, just do it. Start off small and then kind of expand. I know sometimes it can be overwhelming, but like once you're in it, you'll be like, oh my gosh, why didn't I do this long time ago?
Love you. Tell yourself, I love me too. I love you, Omena. Love you. When you open your heart and your mind, you're opening up to your blessing.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. My name is Athenia Rodney, CEO and founder of Juneteenth. I know you're probably looking for Jamie. Jamie is not here on today, so I graciously decided to step in and welcome you all as we are coming to our last days of 2022. Oh my gosh. This is like the year is fastly approaching towards the end. But today we have a very special guest. I'm very excited to invite Lamique Smith on to our session today, aka Mickey Zen. She is so dope. I had to put on my earrings that she did for me. So hold on, let me see if I can. You can see them. So they say Juneteenth on them. With shells. She blessed me last year to be able to put these together for our Juneteenth event, and I didn't get a chance to wear them. So I'm glad that I was able to be on the session today where I get to showcase some of your work, and we get to talk about a little bit of your story, how pain and trauma have led to the passion and purpose that you call Mickey's Den. And so I would like to welcome you to our stage on today. Hello, my love. How are you?
Greetings. I'm good. And you?
I'm blessed and highly favored. I cannot complain. Thank you. So to start, I just want to learn a little bit about you, right? Why did you kind of get involved with, first of all, how do we get the name Mickey's Den from Lamique Smith?
Okay, so the name Mickey's Den came about because I had to figure out a name for a company because I was in the middle of a divorce, and initially the company's name was going to be Esoteric Designs.
Okay.
So I had to find another company name to use to put on Etsy to actually start selling, because one of my customers convinced me to open a shop. So that's how Mickey's Den started. Okay. And the name stuck because I'm Mickey, and I felt like, okay, let me just welcome people into my space, into my home. So I felt like it was a covering. So that's where Mickey's Den came from.
I love that. So let's dive into your topic.
Okay.
Talk to us about how you were able to turn pain and trauma into your passion and purpose.
So at the time, my trauma and my pain was, one, going through a divorce and just trying to figure out what was next, because everything that I knew was surrounded about, with about family and being whole. And now my family was broken. So I was trying to figure that out. And at the same time, I was diagnosed with lupus, and I was already dealing with Graves' disease, which just made it that much more, of a challenge to deal with the stress of that. So it just kind of elevated everything for me. So I found myself making different things. At first, I started off by writing poetry. I went back into writing and journaling, and then I started to make jewelry just for myself. And it just made me so happy. And during that time, like all the pain that I was going through, I would just forget about all of it. Everything would be alleviated. I would be in all these awkward positions, making stuff, leaning over in my chair. So that's basically how it all started out, so to speak. So, with me creating over time, it grew into something else. If that makes sense.
So when you talk about the jewelry, so you just started creating, it was primarily for yourself. You said, I guess, a friend. So how did you get from the creating stage of things, and this was kind of like healing for you, to now I want to do stuff for other people? Because now you're going from a hobby to a business, and there's a difference.
Right. So my hobby turned into a passion in the end. So while running one day, because I started running as well, I joined Black Girls Run, and I started to run a lot of different races, and I met a lot of different people. And there was this one woman who approached me. She said, I love your earrings. And she's like, and I paid attention that you wear nice earrings all the time. And I said, yeah, well, I made them. And she's like, really? And I said, yes. And she's like, okay, well, I want to buy those. I was like, but they're in my ear. And she's like, I'm serious. I want to buy them. So I'll see you at the end of the race. So I didn't see her at the end of the race. But then when we got to the hotel that we were staying at, she approached me and she's like, you have those earrings? I said, give me 1 second. And I went and I found the alcohol prep. I wiped off the ear wires and I gave them to her. And that was my first sale. And she said, okay, so now how can I buy more? So at that point, it pushed me to start looking into, okay, so now how can I get this stuff out into the world for other people? And she's actually one of my most loyal customers to this day. Like I was just on the phone with her yesterday about doing something else for her. So that's how Miki's Den actually started. And she stayed on top of me. Every week she would ask, is the site up yet? So I had to find an outlet. So she pushed me to go into Etsy. And you know what they say, people align in your life for a reason or a season. So she aligned to actually get me started in doing what I needed to do for myself.
Awesome. That is so dope. I would definitely say that I wouldn't say that was a traumatic experience, but I feel like a lot of times we need someone to just be in our corner and to kind of give us that push, or something that's going to give us that push. When I first went into full-time entrepreneurship, I was dabbling, and then I had a dream that I was going to lose my job. And I woke up, we had just had a baby. I had just went back to work. So my son was 6 months. I had just went back to work. And I had this dream, and I told my husband, I was like, I had the weirdest dream. Like, it was so real. Like, I felt like I lost that I got fired from my job. And sure enough, that day I went to work, I went to the bathroom, and I came back, and all my stuff was in a box. And they were like, we're going to give you a servant's pay, but, we need to ask you to leave. And I was just so calm. Like they were nervous because they were just like, what's wrong? Like usually people are like, oh my gosh. And people are like, did you know? I was like, I sure did. God told me. I said, so, we have those things that put us in that space of pushing us to be our best, to be our purpose, because by us shining, it helps others to shine as well.
Right.
So I want to learn a little bit, because I know you don't just make jewelry.
No.
So talk to us about some of the things that you make.
Okay, so I started off with wood, and I stuck with wood. So I call myself the woodsmith. So I make I turn cigar boxes into purses. I make wooden clutches. Um,
Oh,
but I do it with like a little bit of a twist. So now I started to add like little words on them. So it's like different designs. They're one of a kind. No two are alike. So that's what the difference is with Mickey's Den, because you can buy a piece and then buy another one, and you can see a little bit of a difference because of the handmade. Because everything is handmade by me, of course. So that's the difference of Mickey's Den. I also make body products as well.
okay.
And that came into play up again in a space where there was a lot of trauma going on with my daughter. When you watching your kids go through stuff and the doctors can't help them,
Mm-hmm.
it like really gets to you. And then right behind her, going through what she was going through with her skin, I had a breakout on my face and back.
Wow.
And then I learned that I was allergic to a lot of different products, and she was allergic to things. So I had to start like really reading the back of the labels on the bottles to see what the
Mhm.
ingredients were. And then I was finding I still brought stuff home that had stuff in it that I wasn't supposed to be using. And I was breaking out further, and so was she. And it just came to the point where I'm like, okay, these companies use all of these different names for this one product.
Mhm.
And it's like time consuming. Let me just try and see how to go about making my own products.
Got it.
So that started the journey there. I started off with shea butters and body washes, and then it turned into a slew of different soaps for different skin conditions. And in turn, I help my daughter. Like, her skin was crystal clear on her body. If you go on my website and you put the link, Clara Rose, and how it came about, you'll see her pictures there of the before and the after. And it's just like, it's amazing how the universe can guide you to different herbs and different things to put things together. Because the same thing with me, it would be like a dream. And then I'm like, oh, well, let me see if that really exists. And it's exactly what I needed. So at the time, to mix my mixtures to make it better.
See them dreams, boy. Them dreams be
Mhm.
potent.
Yeah.
They be potent. So
Yeah.
you were kind of hinting at this or going towards this. In information that you shared with us, you talked about that you use the creating art to heal others. So can you talk a little bit about that and how that kind of transpires?
Okay, so for me, creating art healed me. Like, it helped me a lot because it takes a lot of the stress away from the day-to-day life. But then I realized with like affirmations and things of that nature, things like that that help other people, I'll cut earrings out into it. So when I say healing and healing others, and then I take the time with my customers. Each customer is just not a number to me. Like, when they place an order, it's just not a number to me. A lot of times they'll get a hand note just saying, if you need anything, let me know. Or if they buy a product, if you have any questions, let me know. And that's honest. I'm being honest and I'm being real about that. And then I have some customers that, like, I'll say they'll buy crystals. I'm like, well, if you need to talk about it, or, I'll give a 15-minute consultation, or let's talk about head wraps. And while I'm showing them how to wrap their head with a head wrap, other things will come up along the way. So that's what I'm saying. I found my passion and my purpose within that, because I'm supposed to help people. So I'm a natural, I could say healer or doer, or a natural healer in some sort of form, which leads me to where I'm going now, because I'm going to a different direction now where the jewelry and everything will be there, but I'm also going to heal with touch. So, and we'll talk about that later, because I have another company that's going to be popping up called The Den. And The Den is basically the covering of the community. So,
Why are we gonna talk about it later? I'm interested in that. So the touch. So yeah. So talk to
yeah,
me.
so,
So talk to me about the den, because I'm
okay, so
all about the touch and I'm all
okay.
about the massages and yeah.
Right. So that's basically what it is, So I'm working on that in the back end to bring it the way I just want to do it just a little bit different. Everyone says, oh, I do intuitive massage, but this is really intuitive, where your body will speak to me. And throughout that process, Some may come in and just say they want to relax and massage. Well, fine, that's okay. That's all fine and dandy. We can just do that for you. But then on another level, there is a massage where, as we're going, it's like a therapy session. Well, like anything that you want to talk about at that time, this is a safe space for you to open up. Well, I will listen, and give my input and my feelings about the situation itself. And it may. In a lot of ways, I see that it does help a lot of people because they do come back. They do come back and they do say, thank you. I really needed that at that moment. I really appreciate you for that.
So something that just came up for me as you were just talking was, so I didn't realize, so I talked to my hairstylist and it has a similar kind of thing because it's an intimate moment where you are, especially a spirit being, when you are touching someone else, touching their hair, touching their body, you pick up on what they're going through, their ailments, their sorrow, their story, their everything.
Yep.
So how do you cover yourself? Like, how do you decompress after doing a healing session, whether it's creating jewelry for someone? Because I'd imagine it was this movie, and I can't remember, when I was in college, I had watched, it was about cooking, a guy or a woman who was cooking, and when she was cooking and she cooked and she was happy, everyone who ate her food was happy. And one time she was crying because she had got her heart broken, and everyone who ate the food just started crying, and they didn't know why. They said, oh my gosh, I don't know why I'm crying. But it was just
so that's like a transference of energy. That's a transference of energy. Right. So
talk to us about what you do.
Okay. So what I do is it's going to sound a little blasé, but every full moon, I make my way to the ocean, and I do bring back the ocean water, and some make what they call moon water, and I use that in between each session of each person that I do something for or with. I'll cleanse myself and then just take a moment and just sit back and meditate to release all of the different things, because it's transference of energy. So now to go back into just remembering to take care of self and releasing all of their stuff that I just grabbed and held onto for the moment, and just let all of that stuff go. So that's how I clear and cover myself. And then every morning when I wake up, the first thing I do is thank my ancestors. And I stay with my ancestors maybe for like 15 minutes in meditation a day. If that makes sense to you.
Yeah, no, definitely. The water is that 5 o'clock in the morning when the sun, just like you and God, and having that conversation, just being in the water and asking for full cleansing. Just being a part of all of the elements is just a time that I had my first session, I think, when I went to St. Thomas, and it was all of us in the water on a full moon, and just the energy was just so high, and we left like really in a space of pushing forward for our goals and next steps, and just feeling like we left all of our traumas there.
Yes. So I have a little spray bottle that I keep it in.
I love that.
I spray myself and take a minute away from everybody to just gather myself and come back so that I can help the next person and move on. I even spray, like when I'm making earrings, my table gets sprayed.
Okay. Okay. That's why when I walked into your booth, the aura is different, and it's real.
Clearing it as people leave. And if I start to feel some type of way, I'll go back and clear it out again. So that's when a lot of people come in like, what is that smell? And it's my spray plus my incense that I keep burning and keep going throughout the day to just keep clearing the space and the air and the vibration for everybody.
Okay. So I wanted to know a little bit more of the passion and purpose. So do you feel like your passion and your purpose are one and the same?
Okay, so my passion turned into my purpose because at first I didn't know. I didn't know what it was, and I didn't know where I was going with this. Honestly speaking, like, okay, we're going to make jewelry, but then it turned into something totally different and more therapeutic for me, and then therapeutic for others. So, like I said, I found that my purpose is here. While I'm here, I need to help others. So that's the reason why I started the other company. I don't know what that is. I started the other company to actually help. And that's why I was saying I didn't really want to talk about it too much, because every day my vision changes. And now my vision is at the point where it's changed to something really big. Something really big. And they say that you're not supposed to think small, you're supposed to think big anyway. And to the point that it scared me, and I found myself in tears recently, just trying to figure out, how am I going to do this? And I can't let my community down, because we all need this. I just feel like we don't have, like, a lot of us weren't loved on the way we should have been loved on growing up, and it's just like a generational thing. And I just want to help everybody break that part of it, to be open and hold space for one another, and be okay with that. Like holding space for a stranger that you may see on a bus that's going through a hard time, and stopping them and just saying, it's okay, it's going to be okay. Because I do that a lot too. Like if I'm in a public place and I see someone all over the place, I'm like, girl, it's going to be okay. You don't be like that. And then they'll look at me like I'm crazy, but then they'll smile like, oh, thank you, I needed that. So more or less that's what it is. And then just realizing, I'm looking down at my notes because I don't want to forget anything. So I just wanted to also talk about that, we energize others and we don't even realize it sometimes. So that's what that thing is that I was talking about, where people may be attracted to you, that like they see your light and they see it. So they come to it, they come to the light and they're attracted to it, and they don't know why, so everything aligns that way. But my thing is we have to hold ourselves accountable. We have to hold ourselves accountable for a lot of different things that you don't complete. And sometimes when you're not completing those tasks, it may be because that's not something for you. And when it's for you, your task will be completed and you'll be able to complete that cycle when it's actually your purpose.
So can you talk to us a little bit about, I guess, how that looks for you, or how that has looked for you? Are there situations where you didn't find yourself being like, if you weren't holding yourself accountable, or you needed someone else to hold you accountable in order to reach your goal?
Yes, there were times where I said, okay, I wanted to do something. Like I was with a company for like maybe 13, 14 years.
Okay.
And I mean, it was dreadful. It was dreadful it was something that I love to do because I like to create, and it was an office interior designs firm. So I love that aspect of it, like, because it was creating, but I didn't understand that that's not where I was supposed to be. I was supposed to be creating for myself and for others, but just not working in an office under someone like that. So I remember I was overwhelmed, and it was just causing me to be sick. I was getting sick left and right. And then I was relieved because I was pulled out by my doctor. He said, you know what? We have to remove you from work right now. And that time, that 6 months off, when I tell you that I felt like I was flying, I was like, oh, really? This is what it looked like. But then it came time for me to go back, and I was like, it was like daunting. So for me,
that was a little taste. That was your little taste.
That was my little taste. That was my little taste. So now I started thinking about, okay, they made COVID happen, and I was furloughed. So now I'm laughing on the inside because I was like, I'm not just furloughed, I'm not just furloughed. So when they came back and they laid me off, same like you, I was very calm. I was like, okay. I said, well, you have to do what you have to do, what's best for you and your company, right? And she's like, okay. She said, but we expected more from you. I was like, well, no. She said, well, take it to the end of the week, clear out everything. I said, oh, no. When can the messenger come and pick up all of your stuff?
I'm done today.
Right? And my daughter just watched me close everything down, unhook everything, and start boxing it up. She said, wait, we have to send you boxes? I was like, no, you don't have to send me anything. I held on to your boxes for everything you sent me, and I don't know why I did it, but this is the why. This is the why. And I stripped that stuff off and was released from that. And each time in life, when I'm going and I'm doing things that I'm not supposed to do, it's removed. Somehow it's just removed out of the space, and it's like another road opens. Like, this is where you're supposed to be. We're leading you back here because you're going off of task right now. So I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, it did. There were some messages that I missed. So we had someone, Kara said, there's something about the water that helps you meditate best too. So
Yes.
that's the only one who loves the water. And Magic was saying she loves this topic today. Wow, she's like, yes. So like about that. And then Jamie's like, yes, we will be pushed to the ledge to survive.
Definitely.
A couple of people are asking for your Etsy. They wanted to see your page.
Oh, well, I'm no longer on Etsy. I got rid of that. I was forced to get rid of that yet again. I was veering off trying to hide behind somebody else, and I was forced to start my own website. So my website is www.mickey'sden.com. And I have my own site now. I'm no longer on Etsy.
Leveling up. Yes. You don't know how excited I get when like there have been in our 14 years of doing Juneteenth, there have been so many people who are like, oh my gosh, when I come and I participate in your Juneteenth event, like that is like my thing, like my bar. I'm like, okay, when I get to that date, I'm gonna have this done. I'm gonna launch this new item. I'm gonna, this every time they're like, I want to be able to show you that I did something different. I got these certifications, I got this paperwork, because we don't know, and we learn in community. And I think when we start to see how what our limitations or how much we limit ourselves by holding ourselves back, that we're able to start to flourish. And I feel like at least my hope and my goal is that for the vendors who come to Juneteenth, that every year they're able to achieve a different level of success.
Definitely. I mean, I remember when I did your event before COVID, like my setup and everything was just different. And it was kind of like, for me, I thought I had it, but the wind kept knocking my stuff down. Right? So I was like, okay,
good old wind.
The next time, this isn't going to happen, right? This isn't going to happen. And I changed my whole setup. But, each time it just got easier and it got better. Each time it just got easier and better. My thing is just to make it a space that's like somebody's walking into my home. So like I put the whole rug on the floor and everybody's like, well, can I step on it? Yeah, that's what it's there for. It's just
but it looks so pretty. If it makes me feel like, oh, I got to take my shoes off, and I got, like I said, it's a whole vibe, y'all. So y'all definitely have to come and check out Mickey's Den, because her space is just a whole vibe when you go into the area, and especially now that you're gonna be doing the massages and stuff. So I'm really looking forward to that. This is powerful, and so many need to see today's show. So powerful. But thanks for sharing that, Magic. I wanted to talk more about, you talked about you getting lupus and also having Graves' disease. There's so many illnesses that affect the Black community that I feel like we don't talk about. Right. And I would love, and I hope that you're comfortable, I would love for you to be able to share and talk a little bit about just your experience with lupus and what kind of support you've had and how you've been able to get through those tough days.
Wow. I was at a very low point with like Graves' disease and lupus at one point, to the point that I had dropped off so much weight and I couldn't stop losing weight at one point.
Can you share what both of those are, just for our viewers who are not fully aware?
Okay, so they're both autoimmune diseases. The thyroid, Graves' disease is thyroid, and it's hyperthyroid basically. And your body produces too much of a thyroid hormone, which then in turn can affect your heart. So you'll wind up on heart medication as well. Some people have underactive thyroid where they'll take Synthroid by mouth or whatever to try and bring their levels up. But what I found, I did some research on that too, and I was able to make it better for a little while and put it into remission. Then lupus I had systematic lupus, so it kind of messed with my joints, and my hair would fall out. And then Graves' disease does the same thing for me as well, where it also can put you in a alopecia state where your hair starts to come out. And your crown is, when your crown is falling apart, a lot of women, us women, we feel like we're losing life. My hair is coming out, I'm bald-headed now. Your crown is the thing. But for me, it was just a time where I was just so tired because I had two things going on at one time. And there was time where I said to my mom, I was like, Mom, I don't have the will. Like I'm tired. I'm tired of fighting. I've been fighting all my life. Like I get over one thing and then here something else is.
Mm-hmm.
So what can we do? So that's why I started to run with Black Girls Run until I couldn't run anymore. So it was just like getting into the mode of health. And then it started to kick in so bad I couldn't run because I was on heart medication. So anybody out there that has thyroid disorder or anything of that nature, it also goes back to diet. And you have to think about that. The things that they put in our foods that we're eating daily. You could have something that has a cap on it, so to speak, and the cap gets popped off because of the steroids that are in the food, or it's a cloned fruit or vegetable or something of that nature. And your body just wakes up and says, I don't want this. So you get the signs in advance that you need to stop eating something, but a lot of people just continue on that path and journey because they like it. So don't be hard-headed. You have to listen to your body. Because I was warned years before, but I kept eating chicken. I just kept eating it, and my body didn't want it, but I would eat it anyway. So that's what. Did I explain it?
Yeah. Did you? Were you? So have you changed your diet overall? So are you a vegetarian, a vegan?
I'm a pescatarian.
Okay.
I'm a pescatarian. So
let people know what that is.
I eat fish. I do eat fish, but I don't eat fish every day. That's the other thing too. We have to be careful with the fish intake as well. I kind of lost my battle in a sense to Graves' disease because I got so frustrated last year. I was in school and I couldn't remember anything because it affects your memory as well. You start to forget things and you can't retain information. So it was affecting me when it came to school. So I decided, let me just take it out. And I got my thyroid removed, only then to find something else that I could have tried beforehand. But I'm happy, I'm good. I'll have to take a pill for the rest of my life, as well as give my body the nutrients that it needs. So with lupus also, I'm not lupus, with Graves' disease, a lot of times you'll find that your iron is low. And it'll be at a low level. You'll find, of course, a lot of people, people of color, need vitamin D.
Right.
And then your immune system becomes a little weak, so you'll be susceptible to colds, especially with lupus and Graves' disease. So I haven't had a cold per se for like maybe 5 years or anything like that. I've never had COVID, knock on wood. But daily, my supplements that I take are just to help my immune system stay at optimal
levels.
Optimal levels, yeah. And then for lupus, with me just changing my diet and removing the meat from my diet and only eating foods that were organic, so to speak, because we know about that too when they say things are organic.
It's not always as organic as you would like it to be.
No, it may be a cloned organic food. So you need a truly organic food and fruit that has seeds and things of that nature. So once I did that, lupus actually went into remission. I went into I did a raw food fast for like 6 months. And lupus went into remission where I get my levels checked and nothing. It's just really quiet and I'm just happy with that. So I said, I'll continue on that journey and giving my body the nutrients that it needs. Now I have fell off the bandwagon a couple times because I'm human, just like everybody else.
But wait, I want to take you back. Wait, hold on. Because I was just thinking about that. You said 6 months of raw food fast?
Yes.
So like 6 months with no cooked food.
No cooked food. Nothing was cooked. And at that time when I was doing raw food, there was no fish involved either. There was no bread involved. There was no rice involved, like to throw into the salad or anything like that. It was just nothing but raw fruits and vegetables.
So you did a whole David's fast, like you beyond 60 days. So you, so yeah. So I, when I was pregnant with my second child, I could not eat anything cooked. I could not smell food. Like food could not be like, so I could only eat, I guess it would be unleavened bread because it was like the flat, it had to be like flat for me to be able to like stomach it. And I lost so much weight. I was like, not that I want to get pregnant. I do not want to get pregnant again. But I was like,
that was cute, right?
But I was like, I was a size 8 and I've never been a size 8. I've always been like a 10 or 12. But I said it to say that was the hardest thing for me to do.
I mean,
I just wanted food. I wanted to taste something with a smell to it. So share with us how
that mac and cheese. I miss the mac and cheese and the greens and all that sort of stuff. I would just do like an air whiff, like, and then just go and eat my raw food salad on the sides. That's how I survived. And then at one point I was just mad at the world. So I would eat my stuff and then go into the room away from everybody else because I would still cook for my house. So they were still eating certain ways. And my daughter had already gone over and flipped to pescatarianism anyway already. So there wasn't a whole lot of cheese in the house and things that I loved in the house like that. So it was a lot easier to do. Because at one point it was just me and her here. And so I would cook and then I would just have to leave the kitchen for a minute. But over time, like maybe 2 weeks time, it got better because now I incorporated smoothies where I was making smoothies in the blender. And I did add protein powder, vegan protein powder to my shakes to like give me like a heartier feel to my stomach. So my stomach wasn't growling because like in the beginning, I was hungry. I was hungry. No, I was hangry. So I was hangry and I could have hurt somebody, but I knew that I needed to do this for me to be better. And the only reason, the person that inspired me to do it, because at that time I was at the African Street Festival. Remember I said people align at the time you need them. And I met a brother by the name of Dawood, now Tutimra. And he introduced me to someone else who then sat down with me, whose sister had lupus and was in hospice. And Dr. Sabi's wife had helped her.
Okay.
So basically he gave me the ins and outs of things that I needed to do. And that's what made me just go gung-ho. I was like, I want to live, so let me just do what I have to do. And I want to live without pain and punishment. So let me do what I need to do. I'll just cut all of this stuff out. And it worked for me.
I hear that. So I want to go to the chat. We have some comments. So we have Magic that wow, that speaks so loud to me. Magic, you gotta be. I want to hear more specifically what speaks to you about what's being shared today. She said, "God made foods." That's true. God did make foods. He gave us the trees and plants, and so. That natural, like you said, that that non-cooked food was definitely you getting back to the roots of where nature had us to start.
Yeah, right, right.
That led people to live 500 and 600 years of age. So definitely hear that. And so we have Ethel share, my warrior queen daughter is a power of example. Her transition is remarkable. Her elevation is ongoing. I am honored that she chose me as the vessel to enter this realm. Awesome.
Make me cry.
And then, so Magic shares, she said, my son healed me through food via Dr. Sabi's diet. It healed me of diabetes, HBP, and a dozen meds I used to be on. I needed to hear all this today. Thanks for this share.
You're most welcome.
Look at that. See, you wasn't even, this wasn't not the way that you were even expecting, I'm sure, to go down this road today. But when Spirit leads and directs and guides and shares the shares that need to be shared are what people need to hear. Before I start to close this down, you talked about poetry and journaling. Can you talk to us a little bit about how you've used poetry and journaling, and if that has helped you in like creating, building out what you do now?
Yes. Well, poetry is something that I'm not really, I don't really do often anymore. But every once in a while, I'll be drive to sit down and just write. And when I write, I just write it and I don't like look at it until it's finished. Or maybe a couple days later, I'll go back and read it. And I'm like, wow, because you never know, it's like the brain just led the hand. And I never know, like, really, so to speak, what I'm going to write or what it's going to turn out to be afterwards. But in journaling definitely helps me get my emotion out, and it helps me see where I am, how I've grown, and things that I need to go back and work on myself with. Because if I go and look at my journal from a month ago, I may have been upset and angry about something where now it wouldn't even bother me as much, or it'll show me my growth within that. And journaling also helps me with creating, because I set certain standards for myself. Like I'll say maybe I need to set a calendar for myself to get certain things done because I feel like I'm not completing things properly in a timely fashion or matter, whatever. So journaling definitely helps. Journaling and then meditating at the same time is just like a great and powerful thing. Because when you go back and look at things that you wrote after meditating and journaling, it's something like out of this world that you'll go back and read from yourself. So I think that's something that everybody should just sit with themselves and just write. Just write it out. Write your feelings out. If you have a person that you haven't spoke to and you're angry at them, write them a letter to just get that out off of your spirit and onto paper and just let it go.
That is so good advice, because by you doing that, it helps you to get it out of your system.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have a blockage like that, it's hard for you to create. It's hard
Right.
for you to hear from anyone because you just have a veil over you. So that is so good information that you shared. So thank you for that. I wanted to ask, and I'm sure you totally were not ready for this. Do you have any poetry that you have memorized that you could share a couple of bars for us?
Mm.
No pressure.
No, not really. No.
Okay. I just thought I asked because I was like, oh, poetry. Want to give you the opportunity to show all your talents.
Next time I'll be ready. Next time I have my book of poetry.
Okay. We will look out for that for you to sign up again. I did want to ask, because we do have a lot of people who have businesses. Can you share like what has been the biggest challenge for growth for you?
The biggest challenge of growth for me is like wanting to do so much for so many and realizing that I can only deal with one thing at a time. Because in business, you're all over the place. Like you want to do 100 things, but you just have to set goals and say, okay, well, today I'm going to do this. And then tomorrow I'll do this. So you have to become more organized with your thoughts and your intentions in business.
I love that, being organized with your thoughts, being intentional. And that's the intentionality piece. The next question that I have for you is, what are your top 3 business apps that you feel like you cannot like get by without?
Square or invoicing when Shopify messes up. So
okay.
Square. And then I also have the Square appointment app. So when I'm making deliveries, it's organized and everybody knows that I'm coming.
Okay.
And Klaviyo for the back end to create all the butt funnels for anything that you want. Say somebody put something in their cart. It's not that old Shopify thing. You can actually give a snazzy little something and it'll send an email with a coupon. It also helps you with your marketing and just being the best that you can possibly be. And you can use the free version. You don't have to you don't have to pay for it at all. So those are the 3 apps that I think are the best and bomb.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that. I am complete with my questions. Is there anything that I didn't ask you that you wanted to make sure to share to the community?
Yes. So I wanted to talk about completion again. We're going to go back to completion. And I say that step 1 is to mentally and emotionally release yourself from commitment by acknowledging that no longer has meaning for you. Because a lot of times we hold on to stuff so we can't move forward.
Yeah.
The second step is to renegotiate commitment by informing others, to renegotiate the commitment by informing others, to reestablish a plan to complete the action or activity. So, okay, if you didn't complete it, now you have to go back and you're going to reestablish it. It's not as lost. We could still get this done. And then thirdly, you just have to stop giving yourself excuses and just do it until it's complete. Right? So you have that hold yourself accountable to get the completions done. And also just don't live in pieces. You want to live in peace. So in order to get that done, you have to take care of self first and then others. You cannot pour from an empty cup ever.
I like that though. Don't live in, you can't live in pieces. You have to live in peace. I like that. If that's not a shirt, you're gonna have to work on that, because that is definitely a saying to hold on to that really that resonated with me for sure.
Thank you.
So thank you. Well, thank you, Miki. Can you tell people again how to connect with you and where you're going to be at next, that they might come and do a visit?
Okay, so I'm not vending right now. I'm just taking a moment. I'm taking a moment to regroup and recuperate. So you can go onto my website, which is www.mikiesden.com. You can find me on Instagram at Mikies_den. And then on Facebook, I'm Miki's Den as well. In the coming months, you will see me a little bit more coming at probably in February. I'll start lives again where I do rare finds, which is just basically jewelry that I just may have wired the day before. And I'm just going to share with everybody, and you can buy it. That won't be on the website, and then I'll never make it again. It's one and done.
Got it.
And then maybe we'll do some head wrap sessions again, where like I did before, and just get back into community work with the people.
Yeah, I love that. One of the things that I always share is that people purchase from who they know, like, and trust, and being able to see you on a regular basis builds trust, because they're like, you're not going anywhere, you're here, especially in a season where everything is, hit it and quit it. It's like, oh, I tried it, I didn't like it, and then I'm on to the next thing. So to see somebody in something for a long period of time and continue to invest in it and show the worth, that makes people feel confident and continue to invest in us as business owners. So I definitely implore you, and I look forward to getting messages and being notified and jumping on and watching. I got to do me a rap session, get my rap here on, as I myself am exploring femininity. So enjoy. So that's my words for 2023: femininity and joy, and how I embrace that. So I'm definitely looking forward to connecting and seeing what you have to share.
Okay, thank you.
I'm getting some more of those body butters, because I just finished in the soap. That was the first thing that I got when I when I moved to my house. I was like, I gotta try the soap. Like, I was like, something about the soap and utilizing it in a new space, and It was just like it was final for me. It was final. So
Okay, which one did you get?
I don't remember now. I want to say it was the black
The black bar?
Yeah, the black bar.
Yep.
Look at all the pictures. Thanks.
And I have some new ones coming up. Some new ones coming out next. I'm just waiting for the labels so I can put them out.
Okay. Well, like I said, we will be here looking forward to it. Any last words that you want to share before we go?
No, I just want to say thank you, and it was a pleasure and an honor.
Awesome.
To be here today.
Thank you. It was a pleasure having you. We look forward to, like I said, continuing to partner and to help. We hope to get you into some stores. Hopefully we get some partnerships this year with Target and we can start to broach some of those relationships where our vendors are getting some spaces in stores. So
thinking big, not small. That's
right.
This year.
That's right. Thinking about how you're going to do some mass production, how you're going to have Amazon. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Because that's definitely our focus for this year with all of our vendors during Juneteenth is talking about, like, are you ready for mass production? If we're saying that we want more people to buy Black, are we ready for people to really invest into the Black community without any issues? Because, people are like, oh, I don't want to buy from that company. It take 48 hours, take too long for them to respond. They don't answer the phone. They don't respond to emails. Like, all of those things. So that's really my mission, is to help us to create more of a streamlined process to our business so that we can lessen what that looks like, and so that people can feel more safe and secure.
Yeah,
right. We're buying from us.
Yeah, because I know sometimes you buy from somebody and it takes a little longer for them to get it out. And then you have to understand it's a small business, so they're growing. Amazon has thousands of people and other people just have Bob. Right. That's back there helping packing the boxes. So
exactly. But we all want that, $1 million money. So we gotta, we have to know how to level ourselves up so that we're able to offer the level of customer service that people want, so they can continue to buy from us.
Yep, definitely. I agree.
So thank you, Miki. I appreciate you, Miki's Den.
Thank you.
Have a blessed rest of your evening.
You too.
Thank you. And Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa, and Happy New Year.
Enjoy.
Bye. So hello everyone again. That was amazing. I know I was not expecting to go that way, but as we always say, we listen to the spirit and we let them guide us in our conversations and how we operate on our Juneteenth lunch and learns that we do every Thursday at 12. We will be back here on next week. That will be our last lunch and learn before the new year. So we definitely hope that you join us, and we can't wait to share all of the great things that we have coming up for 2023 for Juneteenth. Make sure you put it on your calendars from June the 16th to June the 18th. We have a packed weekend, and we hope that you're able to join us. Check out our website, juneteenthny.com. And follow us on Instagram to continue to stay abreast of what we have going on. So thank you very much. Have a good one. And Merry Christmas, everyone. And Happy Kwanzaa.
Greetings. Good afternoon, Juneteenth family. Welcome to another weekly Lunch and Learn.
In terms of business, if you have a dream, go for it, pursue it, work hard at it, because with anything that you want to do, it's going to come hard work. You know, if you don't put the hard work, if you don't put the time into it, it's not going to flourish the way you want to.
Maybe advice for anybody who's looking to start a business, like just do it. Start off small and then kind of expand. I know sometimes it can be overwhelming, but like once you're in it, you'll be like, oh my gosh, why didn't I do this long time ago?
Love you. Tell yourself, I love me too. I love you, Omena. Love you. When you open your heart and your mind, you're opening up to your blessing.
Yeah.